Question number 11, the Honourable Damien O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Primary Industries. Does he have confidence in his department?
Honourable Nathan Guy.
Mr Speaker, yes, I have confidence in my ministry. In particular, I have confidence in the way they are responding to fruit fly incursion in Auckland. They are coordinating 180 staff, working hard on the ground with the support of the local community to eradicate this pest. I also have confidence in the way they are supporting those in need through drought conditions. MPI has provided additional funding to rural support trusts and is regularly engaged with local authorities to coordinate support for farmers and growers in the affected areas.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, the Honourable Damien O'Connor.
Mr Speaker, how have the 13 brown marmorated stink bugs entered New Zealand, and can he assure New Zealanders that a population hasn't been established which will cost the country billions of dollars?
Order. Honourable Nathan Guy.
Mr Speaker, no, I can't confirm that, but what I can confirm is there has been a population explosion in the US. MPI are reviewing all the import health standards. They are looking at chemical eradication, in particular for products that are coming into the border. We are extremely aware of this pest and the ramifications it could have on the horticulture industry. That's why biosecurity will always be my #1 priority.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, the Honourable Damien O'Connor.
Mr Speaker, what is the cost to MPI of moving the Pacifica Festival out of the fruit fly exclusion zone?
Honourable Nathan Guy.
Mr Speaker, I'm unaware that there's any cost. What I can say, because I visited the response site yesterday, is there's been great collaboration between the Auckland Council and MPI officials and also the organisers of this festival, and it makes prudent sense for it to be moved to the planned location, and I endorse that.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order, the Honourable Damien O'Connor.
I just want to clarify, and I'm not trying to be smart. Did the Minister say he didn't know of the cost?
Order. It would really help. Order. It would help if members themselves could listen to the answer. The Minister responded he was unaware of the cost.
Mr Speaker, supplementary, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, the Honourable Damien O'Connor.
Mr Speaker, does he accept ultimate responsibility for the failure of our biosecurity system? And why does he not abide by his own government policy of 3 fly strikes and you're out and simply resign?
Honourable Nathan Guy, either of those two questions.
What a ludicrous question. And last year, we can't take anything this member takes seriously. Last year, when we had a fruit fly find in Whangarei, this member came out and said we should ban all imports of fruit and vegetables from Australia. Not even the industry was calling for that. Do you know what that would have meant? The price of bananas would have gone up. We could have had trade ramifications from the Australians. This member is completely out of touch. Order. Supplementary question, Richard Prosser.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister. With regards to the Associate Minister's answer to Supplementary Question 3 in response to Question 9 in the House yesterday, will the Minister explain the mechanism by which his department, when triaging calls to the answer phone at the hotline that is not staffed 24/7, manages to identify the...
Order. There is simply too much noise while this question is being asked. If the member could also just make his question far more concise, he doesn't need, I think, to refer to the answer yesterday. Just start with the essence of the question. I can assist the member to get an answer.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Will the Minister explain the mechanism by which his department, when triaging calls to the answer phone at the hotline that is not staffed 24/7, manages to identify the origin of cell phone calls in order to give priority to calls from cell phones from the street next door to an existing fruit fly find over calls from cell phones on the west coast of the South Island?
To the best of the Minister's ability, the Honourable Nathan Guy.
Well, the 0800 number is working extremely well. We've noticed a big increase in calls, and yes, there is a process where those members of the public that are calling through late at night will go across to a recording, and they are treated with priority in the morning. And I know that the member has a real focus on border security, particularly when his pocket knife got removed from him wanting to fly on a plane.
Point of order.
Order. This is a point of order, and it will be heard in silence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Point of order. I seek leave to table a recording of the 0800 number which shows that the caller was asked to leave a message and call back the next time.
Order. If it's an 0800 number, every member has the ability to dial that after question time if they wish to listen to it.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Further point of order, Richard Prosser.
Just to clarify, Mr. Speaker, I'm sure that this recording will no longer exist.
Order. I'm not putting the leave to table a recording of an 0800 number answer. Point of order.
Point of order.
Order. Order. Everyone resume his seat. This is a point of order. It will be heard in silence. But before I hear it, if the member is any way questioning a decision I've just made, that in itself will lead to disorder.
Mr. Speaker,
point of order.
My colleague has been pointing out that on a very critical matter to do with biosecurity, a phone is not being answered when it should be. He has evidence of that, and I think the country needs to know that that's the importance or level of unimportance that the government attaches to it. Therefore, it is significant.
Order.
And to say he won't
member
table
will resume his seat. He's very lucky if he remains for the last question. I have ruled that I'm not prepared to put the leave. That is the end of the matter. Because I've explained that to the member. Anybody can go and ring an 0800 number if they so want to. Question number 12, Barbara Kuriga. Order. If I hear another interjection from that quarter, I'll be asking a member to leave the chamber. Question number 12,